After a brief silence, back to Thiruppavai. I actually wanted Thiruppavai last because I always do that because Thiruppavai opens up your heart and Thiruppavai takes you inward. But today, being Somavara, I thought let me try to do like this and see how it changes. I mean, does it bring any change or I don't know. Let us see anyway. So in seventh Pasuram today, it is in Bhairavi Raga, Mishra Chaputala, கீச்சு கீச்சென்றெங்கும் ஆனை சாத்தன் கலந்து பேசின பேச்சரவம் கேட்டிலையோ பெண்ணே காசும் பிறப்பும் கலகலப்பக் கைபேர்த்து வாச நறுங்குழல் ஆய்ச்சியர் மத்தினால் I think it is மத்தினால் one second yeah ஆய்ச்சியர் மத்தினால் ஓசை படுத்த தைரரவம் கேட்டிலையோ நாயக பெண் பிள்ளாய் நாராயணன் மூர்த்தி கேசவனை பாடவும் நீ கேட்டே கிடத்தியோ தேசம் உடையாய் திரவேலோர் எம் பாவாய். So here, what is the meaning? If we see, this is a beautiful shloka where if we try to understand, Andal is going slowly inward and she's trying to get us into different ways of trying to invoke the god. Initially, she was giving us the Pavai Nompu, where the Vrata, how to maintain this whole month so that we are no more attached to myself and my surroundings, but I try to come out of the comfort zone and try to work for more than me to others also. So then only we get Lokakshema and we need to seek the Lord for anything, nothing should be nothing other than Lokakshema only, is what she insisted. And she said that we need to invoke the god as Vamana, Trivikrama, and then we also try to understand different leelas of Krishna. Like he is born in the Mathura, he played in the Yamuna River, and then from the Yamuna River, he was like he was taken as that the Jyoti of that Yadava clan. And he gave so much blessings to Devaki Ma by doing the avatarana to her womb. And then, though he is the Lord of the whole world, the universe, but still he allowed the mother Yashoda to tie that thread, the not thread actually rope around his waist, because of which he got the impression also. And then that way we try to understand the different leelas of him. And then we also understood about the leela of how he he gave moksha to Putana and destroyed the Chakatashura, by which he made sure that his people are safe, and also he treats somebody as a mother or some higher energy, then he will definitely give them some helping hand. Like Putana, he gave this moksha. So this is what we had seen. And also we try to do the namaskaram to Sri Devi Bhudevi with flowers so that they bless us with abundance and bless us with happiness, bless us with the rain, and because of which all the crops grow. From the crops we get grains, and from the grains we get food, and all the living beings are flourished. And we get a lot of water, and with that water let us wake up early and take bath. That's what she was mentioning. And then further, she was also telling about how we need to do our work as a karma yoga, with meaning just not accumulating only for myself, but do the danam. And also not to be too much thinking about unnecessary thoughts, but instead bring a single pointed thought onto God. For that, you need to imagine God with respect to that of the nature, like the clouds is connected to that of the God's black skinned body, and the lightning is equated to that of the Sudarshana chakra in the Padmanabha's hand, which who has this broad shoulders, and this the thunder is equivalent to that of the Panchajanya conch that Krishna blows in this Mahabharata war, right? That one. and this that is like a wake up call to us to come out of this tamas and move to the rajas to sattva. And then we had this Parjanya rain from the clouds that had do the precipitation. From that, we try to understand that how he has this bow from which all the arrows go and hit the enemy and definitely kill them. Similarly, like that, the rains target on the earth and gives only prosperity. And it is not like now and then pouring rain, continuous deep rain, because of which every prosperity is happening, abundance happens, happiness happens, flourishment and nourishment happens, is what we had seen. So that way he gives that anugraha in our heart center, because of which the karuna, the prema, and the atma bhava kind of flowers flourish in our heart, which actually is there behind the bushes of kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, which is very predominant and very natural to us. Because of our identity with respect to the body, we see our body different from the other person. So naturally, we think that my mind will have its own thoughts, my buddhi will have its own ideas. So I am not going to accept that person's idea, or that person's idea is, or that person's ideology is lesser than mine, or that person has not got good qualities, I have better qualities, all these thoughts. So that is why we should leave that. Instead, you should get the chitta shuddhi, chitta ekagrata, chitta vishalata. So here she is like Andal is saying that, oh ignorant one, don't you hear the chirping of the swift birds? In the previous look also, she was mentioning about the conch, if you remember, in the Vishnu's temple, and the birds chirping in the early morning. Are you still asleep for all this? And even the saints and the munis are like the rishis are chanting Hari Hari, that kind of nama which destroys our ignorance and destroys our obstacles and difficulties. That Hari is not awakened in your heart to remove the obstacles and disturbances from you, is what she was mentioning. So here also similar sounding similar lines. Don't you hear the chirping of the swift birds? So here she is giving some name as Anai Chatan. That is the sound they make while they communicate with their mates. That is what she's saying. So don't you hear the sounds of this then, of them talking with each other, chirp, 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 like that. And then don't you hear the sounds of the milkmaids with fragrant hair, churning the curd with their churners, is what she's saying. Meaning, all these gopikas who churn, usually they wear a lot of bangles, and when they do the churning, chirk, chirk, both the churning rod and the bangles both make a lot of jingling sound. And also when they do the churning, they move their upper body also. By doing their moving their upper body, then what happens, there is whatever they are wearing, that mangal sutra, that makes a lot of noise. So they have usually the two mangal sutra, one is from the mother side, one is from the husband side. So they jingle together, hitting one another. So that because of that, some noise comes. Then she says that even if you are ignorant to these noises, you promised us to lead us. What is the mystery that you still remain asleep even after hearing us sing the praise of that Narayana, who is Keshava? Oh girl, what with that radiant face, open your door, right? They are saying. Okay, so here the names in the previous shloka we saw that it was used as Hari, right? Now here they are using the name as Narayana, who is nothing but Keshava. Okay, if you try to understand this name figuratively, like what is this Narayana or Keshava, or how does it, what does it mean to us? Let me try to share my screen. So it is actually sorry, it is actually not just in Bhagavad Gita. Might be the heading is little misleading. Keshava in the Bhagavad Gita alone is not included here. Later I have included it in some more like Vishnu Sahasranama and others also. One second. So here, if you see the meaning of the name Keshava, Keshava is a significant name of Sri Krishna used selectively in Bhagavad Gita also. Unlike many other names, it appears only a few times and always from Arjuna. And if you see, each occurrence marks a critical inner shift in Arjuna's spiritual journey. So, if you see here, how many times it is occurring? Four times. First time, Keshava occurs exactly four times in Gita. First time in first chapter, 30th shloka, where in Arjuna is in collapsed state and despair. And in the second chapter, 54th shloka, when the philosophical inquiry about Sthaprajna is happening. And in the third chapter, first shloka, when there is a confusion between the jnana and the karma is happening. And in the 10th chapter, 14th shloka, when he is recognizing Krishna as the supreme truth itself, right? So that way, the four places where he is calling Keshava. Why are we discussing this again? Because in this shloka, Andal, who is the poet of this Thiruppavai, has invoked Lord as Narayana Keshava. So we are trying to understand in Bhagavad Gita where all Narayana Keshava is used. Actually, it is not 30. It can be 31 in some books. It is 30 in some books. So if you see, it is actually 31. So in Shloka 31, we see Nimittani cha pashyami, viparitani Keshava, nacha shreyonu pashyami, hatva swajanam ahave. So Arjuna is overwhelmed physically and mentally on the battlefield because he feels that his own kith and kin are there in the opposite direction, and he is not he's seeing all bad omens by killing this his own kith and kin, and there is nothing going to shreya goodness going to come by killing our own people swajanam. Okay, so Arjuna is mentally drained and he addressed Krishna as Keshava while expressing his inability to act for the war. And here Keshava signifies one who can subdue the turmoil and the inner chaos. Meaning, Arjuna uses Keshava when his mind is confused, when his ego is breaking, he wants to surrender, and he is ready to be taught and not to argue. So, Keshava, the Lord who removes the inner tamas and the confusion, is what is the first time meaning, right? So, in the further, if you go to the second chapter, so here there is no number confusion. There it actually has to be 31, which I had to correct. No problem. So, if you see in this shloka number 54, which is a question again from Arjuna. So if you see, the second chapter is Sankhya Yoga. In Sankhya Yoga, Krishna talks about what are the different ways for which you need to do your duty. Might be with respect to that of your own true nature, or with respect to jiva, or with respect to the your kshatriya bhava, or even with respect to for dharma sthapana, all of that. So he was saying different ways, and he was saying how you should do the work as a karma yoga and not as a karma. Then it will not bondage you and it will not create any sin to you, is what he was saying. So then this Arjuna asks about the characteristics of a Sthitaprajna. This is a technical and philosophical question, not in an emotional distress like the previous shloka. Right. So if you see in the shloka number 53, yes, you have heard it right, 53. It is Shrutiri Pratipannate Yadha Sthasyati Nischala Samadha Achala Buddhihi Samadha Achala Buddhihi Tada Yogam Avapsyasi. So here, God was saying, when your intellect ceases to be allured by the fruitive sections of the Vedas, and you remain steadfast in the divine principle, and you will then definitely attain the yoga. He says. So he says that if you are working with the results of an action, definitely you will be carried away with a lot of emotions and lot of confusions. But when you are want to have a steadfast mind, and you want to connect with that union of your consciousness with the Bhagavan's consciousness, then you can attain that yoga, is what he's saying. But whoever have already attained the yoga, how will they be? That's why he wanted to know. That's it. That is why in 54th shloka, where Arjuna asks this question as Sthitaprajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. What are the marks of a realized person? How does such a person speak, sit and act? So why Arjuna used the name Keshava here? Meaning, Keshava does not mean the remover of despair or emotional rescuer like the previous shloka. Instead, it means that Keshava means mastery over the mind, senses, and the gunas. So, here he says that from the yogic Vedantic view, Keshava destroys Keshi, right? Keshi means symbolizing restlessness, arrogance, untrained force of the mind. Thus, Keshava, one who masters and subdues the untamed mind, like the Keshi who was in the Purana story where Krishna like he saw that this Keshi was like so arrogant and he cannot be restless and cannot be subdued, but he subdued it and killed it. So similarly here Arjuna is saying like one who has mastered the mind and gunas, that way he is addressing Keshava to explain him the state of such mastery, because you already have that mastery, so you are the right person to tell me. So the teaching takeaway here is that Keshava here is the authority of the inner steadiness, that Sita Pragnatva is already there in him, not the comforter of the weakness in this shloka. So that is why this verse introduces the entire Sita Pragna teaching. And moving ahead in the third chapter, which is on about the Karma Yoga. So Arjuna is now confused about hearing teachings on the knowledge, renunciation, so many things. He has the question: why is he urged towards this terrible action? Tat king karmani ghore man niyojayasi Keshava. So Keshava here represents the harmonizer of the jnana and the karma. So because he thought that he understood whatever Krishna said in second chapter, where he talked about so many concepts, where Karma Yoga was also taught, where the Siddha Prajna was also taught, where the action was also taught, knowledge was also taught. So what is the right one? Krishna teaches Jnana, Buddhi, Sthita Prajna. Arjuna understands intellectually, but his mind is unsettled. So he asks, if the knowledge is superior, why do you push me to this terrible action? So here Keshava means is that one who subdues the chaos and the contradiction. Meaning, Keshi also means violent, confused, and the powerful force. So one who has mastery over such forces, because if you see in the Krishna's avatara, this Keshi was doing like a lot of havoc, right? And he was so violent and he was like intolerable. And that powerful force, nobody can even the Devatas cannot even subdue. So Arjuna is saying, in effect of that, is that okay, Shava, one who can resolve this inner contradiction. And I have an inner contradiction of what is the right one, jnana or the karma. So since you can resolve this inner contradiction, which so please resolve my inner contradiction, is what he is saying. That is why Keshava is used in third chapter. And if you see in the 10th chapter, Arjuna affirms the truth of Krishna's teaching on a divine manifestation. Meaning, in the 10th chapter, if you see, the Bhagavan was giving about his various Vibhuti yoga, and and he brings in the recognition and faith towards Arjuna, and Keshava signifies the supreme reality acknowledged by the devotee. So I accept as a true everything you say, O Keshava, he says. So O Keshava here means that because Krishna has just revealed his eminence. Krishna pervades all beings. He is present within every entity. His pervasion, all the creation exists within him, yet he transcends it. So his inner governance of all being, he guides the course of every being without being constrained by them, that this nature will constrain me because I am living in their heart center. No, that will not happen, because I am not untouched by that, because I am called as Antaryamin. So here it is not a devotion point of view, it is not a surrender point of view, it is not about a confusion point of view, it is not about subduing the gunas or powerful the contradiction between the buddhi and manas point of view, but here it is about the name that reminds about the creation. He is the one who is the creator of both the mind and the cosmic order. So it combines the teaching of teacher and the guide aspect, the upadesha, and also the cosmic rulership aspect, that is the tattva. So Arjuna addresses him, Krishna, as Keshava here, because he is the inner ruler who is the lord of the mind, and also the role of the cosmic creator. What is the cosmic creator? Is Brahma. So the Brahma, he is the creator of the Brahma himself, like because Brahma comes out from his the Nabhi Kamala. So the Keshava is invoked because the Antaryamin aspect of Krishna has been revealed here, as he has given his opulent manifestations before Arjuna. So the inner rulership and the cosmic control is shown here, and the ability to guide and awaken Arjuna's understanding is also shown. So it is not a devotional name used in 10th chapter 14th shloka, but it is the Tattva Upadesha significance. So in the summary we see first chapter, third shloka, Arjuna's state is collapsing. So God is trying to stabilize that force. And in the 54th shloka, he has the inquiry about how I want to know about that yogi who is has having got this steadfast mind, because connecting with that supreme consciousness and not connecting with the fruitive results. So God is giving that authority of steadiness. And then in third chapter, he has this conflict between the mind and the buddhi. So there, here he is giving the harmonizer of the parts. And in the 10th chapter, he is recognizing God as this supreme opulent, who is the mastery of both the inner mind and the metaphysical truth. So that supreme truth is affirmed. So Keshava appears very early in Vishnu Sahasranama also. So the name 23 is what is Keshava, like in 1000. So it is a fundamental name, not merely a descriptive tattva defining, because earlier we saw it as a tattva. Now in Vishnu Sahasranama, as per the commentary, what we see, Ka plus Isha. What is Ka? Brahma. Isha is the Lord. Brahmopi Ishvara iti Keshavaha. He is the cause of the cause. He is the supreme even for the creator. That's what we saw in the 10th chapter 14th shloka also. Second meaning is Kesha as the race emanating, meaning the race means the subtle line of manifestation. Keshava means one from whom all the emanation arise. Like how the sun emanates the rays, similarly he emanates the whole universe. And so here it matches with the Shruti, that is the Veda, where it says that he is the cosmic light and he is the universal expansion, and he is the Brahman manifesting as the whole world, and the whole world is nothing but himself alone. So the Puranic meaning also is not rejected in Vishnu Sahasranama, where it says that Keshi is the slayer of the demon, Keshava is the slayer of the demon Keshi. So in the outer layer level, it is the demon destroyed, but in the inner level, it is our ignorance that is destroyed, our old habits that is destroyed, our violent behavior that is destroyed, our animalistic nature is destroyed, our confusion between the mind and the buddhi is destroyed. So now, if you come to the understanding in Gita, Keshava teaches. In Gita, he engages the confused mind. In Gita, he leads from the despair person to dharma. But in Sahasranama, Keshava gives the definition of how he is the ruler of that Brahma also. And here he establishes the supreme casuality, and he reveals the metaphysical truth that he is nothing but the manifestation itself, that race, the consciousness principle. And the Keshava has two functions. One is the Upadesha instruction and the Tattva truth. And he, by meaning he is nothing other than the Parabrahma itself, himself, and there is the whole world is nothing the effect of this cause. So in Bhagavad Gita, Keshava is the Lord who awakens the confused seeker and teaches the yoga through action. And in Vishnu Sahasranama, Keshava is the supreme consciousness Lord, even of the Brahma, from whom all the manifestations arise. So in here in Thiruppavai, which is a bhakti literature, Narayana Keshava is invoked by Andal to awaken her friends, because Narayana is the refuge who is pervades the whole universe and also pervades the human and inside the heart center. And Keshava is the guiding intelligence who is awakening that Narayana in our heart center. So when the gopis say Narayana Keshava, they sing, and we are not able to hear that and still sleeping, that means the gopis are nothing but the Vedas itself. So the Vedas invoke Narayana, and that Narayana is contributed in the Smriti like Vishnu Sahasranama and Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata as Keshava, both means the same meaning. We invoke that Narayana Keshava to surrender to Narayana, and who is the abode in our heart center, and to invoke that Narayana by using the name Keshava, as it brings the love and the discipline, as it brings both bhakti and the yoga. This is what we try to understand. So, with this, we understood about the detailed notion of Andal using Keshava, so that she wants to awaken our inner principle, so that we should not be in that slumber anymore, and we should wake up and connect with that Lord. Okay. So, with this awareness, let us quickly try to do a small meditative procedure for this verse, so that we imbibe it into our life and we sink in it in our Nididhyasana. Right? Thiruppavai, Shloka 7. For that, we are doing the meditation. Right? So, please sit comfortably in a stable posture, spine upright, body relaxed. Close the eyes, become aware of the body as a whole. The body is still, the mind begins to connect with the breath, natural breathing, no control, only observation. You are very evident of the sounds outside right now. Become aware of these sounds outside. From the outside sounds, come back to the body, awareness. In the heart center, imagine the early morning village. Hear the sharp, lively chirping of the birds, either a village or a forest, wherever you feel the chirping of the birds. Strong, insistent, awakening sounds. Hear softer sounds too, like birds calling to their mates, answering one another. Let the mind remain alert and listening. Now visualize the cowherd woman. Their fragrant hair moves gently. They churn the curd with rhythmic effort. Hear the sound of the churning. Feel the rhythm, the ornaments at their neck, the sacred thread and the pendants, moving together, creating a gentle ringing. The sounds are not the distractions, they are the calls to awaken. Feel these sounds are arising within you to awaken you. The whole world has awakened, and only I remain asleep. Not the physical sleep, but the inward inertia. Observe this without judgment. There are gopis around you. They sing the praise of Narayana Keshava. Are you able to hear the name vibrates in the inner space? Even with the name is heard, there is a resistance to the rising. So they are trying to invoke you. Try to see if there is a resistance in you. Do not fight, just become a witness. Keshava. Now gently introduce this feeling. I have promised to lead. I have promised to walk first. Let the responsibility of awakening be felt not as a burden, but as a remembrance. The awaken is not only for yourself, but for moving together. Visualize a closed door before you. Behind it is a light, movement, and song. In the heart center, inhale and feel the readiness. Exhale, imagine the door slowly opening. Inhale, feel the readiness. Exhale, feel the heart opening. Inhale, feel the readiness. Exhale, the door completely opened. There is no force, only willingness. Viveka Janyam. Drop all the images. Remain silent, awake, and listening. Keshava Madhava Jayadeva Madhusudana Netrakamalada Dala Ativa Manohara Keshava Madhava Jayadeva Madhusudana Netrakamalada Ativa Manohara Antaryami Prabhu Parameshwara Maya Manushavesha Leeladhara अंतर्यामि प्रभु परमेश्वरा माया मनुषवेश लीलाधरा केशव माधव जय देव मधुसूदना नेत्रकमलदल अतीव मनोहरा अंतर्यामि प्रभु परमेश्वरा माया मानुषवेश लीलाधरा माया मानुषवेश लीलाधरा माया मानुषवेश लीलाधरा. You are chanting the various names of Lord Krishna as Keshava, Madhava, and Madhusudana, the one who has beautiful eyes like a lotus petal, the indweller in the heart center, the Sakshi, the Drik, the one who is the supreme enchanting and one who has taken the deluding human form of Krishna as a sport and killed the Keshi and got the name Keshava, and who is also the father for Brahma, the creator Keshava, and who emanates the supreme light because of which the whole universe is created, manifested, and goes back to him in the Pralaya. Rest here for a few moments. Now bring awareness back to the breath. Feel the body seated and say silently in your heart center as a sankalpa, I respond when the call comes. I respond when the call comes. You will be attentive and listening to the worldly things and see that they are ashashvatam and anityam. And you want to go to that abode which is shashvatam and sukham. So try to be very attentive and aware when you are living in the world and see that whatever you achieve, you are not satisfied and they are ephemeral. And once you live the awareness based life, your body, your mind, and the buddhi, and you see that they are changing every minute, and you do not want to get carried away by these changes, but to be aware to the inner call, bringing the hands in front of the chest, prayers along with me. असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु. Palming, cupping your eyes and feel the Krishna's presence awakened your heart inside. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Opening your eyes. If you have a Krishna's photo before you, the Guru's photo before you, and then to your palms. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you for joining. Let us meet tomorrow. Until then, try to be with us. Try to live the life of awareness and see the different emotions in the heart, different thoughts in the mind, and whatever you achieve, still you are not satisfied with that. You do not want to get carried away by these, but you want to connect with that permanent abode. So, live a awareness based life. Thank you.